Former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin continues to be the talk of the political world thanks to her best-selling brand new book, Going Rogue. After leaving Michigan yesterday, she headed off to Indiana for some appearances and will close out what has been a whirlwind first week of her book tour in Ohio and Pennsylvania. But last night, she was on Hannity for her very first cable interview about her brand new book. And in case you missed it, here are some highlights.
When they found out that Bristol, and she was 17, that she was pregnant, and the McCain operatives in the campaign had done their homework, they knew all about us. They knew what they were getting when they chose me. We're watching for the president to show that still spine that Reagan had so exemplified, to show that still spine and say, you know what, we're going to do all that we can to win in Afghanistan. We cannot afford to lose. I'm going to get clobbered tomorrow morning. The liberals, their heads are just going to be spinning, and they're going to say, she is radical, she is extreme. But I say, profiling in the context of doing whatever we can to save innocent American lives, I'm all for it then. There are a lot of causes out there that I want to help with. Don't know if necessarily that means running for a higher office, but, you know, my life is in God's hands, and I'm seeking that path that he would have me on.
You're not thinking about it now, but you're not ruling it out now.
Not ruling it out.
All right, now we covered a wide range of topics, and for once the governor was allowed to say what was on her mind. But as expected, her brand new book has drawn fire from the left as well as the mainstream, or what she calls the lamestream media. Newsweek magazine was among the first to take a shot at the former vice presidential candidate with this blatantly sexist cover. Then came the revelation that the Associated Press had tasked 11 reporters to fact-check her book. Now, by contrast, FoxNews.com reports the AP did not bother even checking either one of Barack Obama's books. So what is behind this double standard? Well, my next guest is somebody who knows a great deal about the media and has even spent time with Governor Sarah Palin on the campaign trail. Let's take a look.
When I was asked to come out here with all of you and introduce the governor today, I was, of course, incredibly honored. But let's be honest, I was really excited just to be able to talk for 5 minutes without getting interrupted. And let me tell you this, when it gets hot in the kitchen, the governor may be from Alaska, but she can take the heat.
And we're now happy to be joined by the author of The G-Free Diet, a gluten-free survival guide. She is the Emmy award-winning host of ABC's The View, the one and only Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Great to see you again. Welcome back.
See you too, Sean.
I love the show. I watch it all the time. I love the show.
Well, we love you.
Well, not everybody on the show. Joy doesn't love me.
She does it in her own special way.
Well, look, at least it's a rosy-free zone.
Sean, you're so bad. You're bad. But indeed it is.
Let's start with Governor Palin. You said you watched the interview last night.
I did. You did a great job with her.
I was with you at that speech that you gave in Tampa for her.
Yes.
She's a huge success.
She is.
But the book was announced. It was an instant, huge mega bestseller. She's TV ratings gold. Why is she so popular?
I think a great amount of American people relate to her. I think that she does speak her mind, especially now we're seeing her more than we ever did before. You know, and in part due to her handling, I think, during the campaign. You know, I got an up-close look at what actually happened there that day that we were together. I got to ride on the bus with her between Tampa and Kissimmee, and I got to see right after I introduced her, you know, she went rogue there and discussed her wardrobe, and she mentioned the pin that I brought up in the speech. And I saw the immediate panic around the campaign, and I saw cell phones go up, and all I kept hearing was off script. And I saw relief on her face, and I saw panic on theirs. And I think there was a disconnect there in terms of what the goal was. And I think America wanted to hear her, and there was a bit of protective nature there. Now, look,
I was there, and she writes about that in the book, that she decided to say, I got these clothes from a consignment shop.
Yes.
Why would that be off script? I don't get it.
I don't know, especially when it connects with most Americans. You know, I want to also touch on the Newsweek cover that you mentioned just a few minutes ago. And when I saw that, I was infuriated, as most women should be. It is, as you said, blatantly sexist. And I'm not going to go and be a crybaby about it, but let's be fair. Where now is the National Organization for Women? Where are they? Where are they when a conservative woman is being reduced to that sort of cover when it comes to politics? They have said nothing, Sean. Absolutely nothing. Apparently, they only want to represent women when they're liberals. And I find that to be problematic, and maybe tomorrow they'll have something on their website.
He said, no, I agree with you in your analysis, and Governor Palin thinks it's sexist because I asked her last night. Here's the question then, because you're a conservative woman, you've come under fire. Why are conservative women, generally speaking, bigger targets than liberal women?
Well, I think that obviously the liberal media is out there and alive and in full effect in terms of defending them. The conservative women, for some reason, they come under fire, Sean, I think because they are okay with having kids and a family and those priorities that sometimes I think there's that idea out there that you cannot have a career and a family. You can't do it all, and you can't represent a certain value system that may disagree with theirs. They're a protected breed, liberal women, but conservative women are not. They're becoming extinct.
But doesn't it say so much about it? Because doesn't it really, though, come down to one or two issues? You're pro-life, Governor Palin's pro-life,
Sure.
Issues of Second Amendment. Seems to come down to a really basic litmus test, whether women's groups will support you or not.
It's amazing, too. You know, you look at Governor Palin and you see her carrying trig, yet she's the enemy. She chose to have a baby knowing full well he had Down syndrome. Chose to have him, yet let's destroy her.
And live by her own standard.
It makes no sense. And then you look at her book, and people are, you know, not even having read it, and I haven't gotten through it myself, having, you know, the kids and a few jobs. But it doesn't seem to be the type of book that she's firing back at people trying to even the score. But let's imagine that it was that type of book. Did you get the memo on what we're allowed to write about?
No.
She should be able to go after anybody she wants to. The 350-odd pages of her book are nothing compared to the slander that she's faced in the media.
I would agree with that, and I did ask her about that. The hardest attacks, obviously, were on her family. I mean, David Letterman, I know you guys talked about it on The View, and you know, look at for what we also pointed out, the AP. 11 fact-checkers for Governor Palin, 0 for Barack Obama.
Right. And we know this now. We know this now, and we know what we're dealing with. I think that it's going to be an uphill battle in some ways for conservatives to have, you know, fair representation in the media. Thankfully, for, you know, places like this, there's at least a forum that's fair.
Yeah. What do you think part of it is? You have this elite mentality, not just in the media, but maybe in New York, in Hollywood, in Los Angeles. You know, she tells a story, and I asked her about it. The first question last night. She tells a story. She'd go hunting for moose with her dad before school. Her dad hands her warm moose eyes. And maybe they can't identify with that rugged, more independent lifestyle. And there's sort of a disdain there for middle America.
Sure.
True?
Well, from middle America? No, or for middle America.
That's what I meant for.
Absolutely. I think that, you know, sometimes, and I think there's a question in many people's mind. Do you want someone to be your leader who's like you, or who you want to be like? And I think that, you know, that battle comes up. It did in the election. You know, I'm just surprised that given all of the background and education that President Barack Obama has had, he seems to have trouble making decisions.
We still no decision on Afghanistan.
No, and none. And lives are at stake. You know, I think that sometimes it doesn't take a Harvard education to make a good choice.
And she's got principles. Maybe I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, gosh.
Would she be your first choice for 2012? For the Republicans?
You know, I really can't.
Or one of your top ones?
I think she'd battle. I think she'd get in there. You know, I have trouble getting behind someone right now. I do support her, and I think she's obviously someone to be feared. Look, she's not in current office right now. She's not running for anything. She's touring a book, yet people are still so afraid of her. And I think they know that if she's the person on the ticket, or she's behind the person on the ticket, that there is a force to be reckoned with there.
All right. I thought during the campaign, when we come back, you're going to stay another segment with us. You had an opportunity to ask Barack Obama one of the toughest questions he got in the campaign. And we discussed it with her last night. So we'll come back, and we'll also ask you about this mammogram issue involving women in the health care bill and the government. We have much more to talk about with Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Plus, Congressman John Conyers, of all people, going after President Obama. We're going to play you that unbelievable audio and the most shocking undercover Acorn video to date will be debuted right here in a Hannity exclusive. Wait till you see this video.